It illustrates the multi-role competency of the two primary combat versions, the naval single-seat Rafale M and the Air Force's two-seat Rafale B.
Okay, we're clear to go. Weapons ready. In range. Shoot. Shoot. On the way. Sam! Break right! Jimmy, we'll take off.
It has now become prohibitively expensive for individual nations to pursue their own national fighter programs. Gripen and Rafale will almost certainly be the last two major combat aircraft to be developed by a single European nation. The path pursued by the biggest of the European trio, the Eurofighter Typhoon, is a multinational collaboration. Eurofighter is being jointly developed and produced by Germany, Italy, the UK, and Spain. The Typhoon is designed as a multi-role combat aircraft. It's mostly for air combat beyond visual ranges, but also has an important secondary ground attack capability. This international consortia have been formed to develop the airframe, engine, multimode radar, IRST, and a highly advanced smart electronic warfare suite. Eurofighter has an extremely complex cockpit that even includes direct voice command, so the pilot can carry out a selection of radar modes and data entry procedures using speech. The flying program got underway in 1994 with the first flights of 2 of the 8 planned prototypes. In 1998, Eurofighter 2000 received the name Typhoon. The first production aircraft was rolled out in the second half of 2001 and began to come into use during 2003. In terms of sheer numbers, Eurofighter is by far Europe's most important combat aircraft program. It's anticipated that at least 800 will be built. The respective national requirements were finally settled on in 2000 as a maximum of 297 for the UK, 180 for Germany, 130 for Italy, and 103 for Spain. In addition, an export order of 60 Typhoons for Greece was signed in 1999. Other exports are likely. One manufacturer, Lockheed Martin, has cornered the lion's share of the 2 critical superfighter programs that will form the core of the U.S. Air Force's warfighting power over the coming decades. The United States Air Force need an F-15 replacement, and the F-22 Raptor is being developed to meet this need for an advanced tactical fighter. As far as is known, stealth has previously been applied only to attack aircraft, such as the F-117 Nighthawk and the B-2 Spirit. The F-22 is the world's first stealthy fighter. It will revolutionize air combat in the same way the F-117 and the B-2 changed the face of attack warfare. Key features include a trapezoidal wing whose angles are repeated on the other surfaces to reduce radar signature, canted fins, and internal weapons carriage. In terms of materials, most of the Raptor's weight, some 39%, is made up of titanium, Composites account for 24%, and aluminum, a traditional aerospace material, makes up only 16%. The F-22 is run by two F-19 engines, which have a high military power rating, allowing it to supercruise over long ranges. This superfighter has been designed to restore the United States Air Force technological advantage over its rivals. It is intended to outfly and outfight all others. When it enters service, it will be, by far, the world's most advanced combat aircraft. Artificial intelligence algorithms fuse data from the sensors and present only relevant information to the pilot. These reduce his workload while at the same time improve tactical awareness. For missions where stealth is a key requirement, the Raptor will carry all its weapons internally in 3 weapons bays. It's approaching the end of its lengthy phase of engineering, manufacturing, and development, and will shortly start its initial operational evaluation. Current plans call for the Raptor to come into use by 2006 and to enter its full rate of production of 90 aircraft per year that same year. Experience gained on the F-22 is being applied directly to the Joint Strike Fighter, or JSF, project. This is potentially the biggest military aircraft program in history. The U.S. services alone may possibly require as many as 3,000 of them to replace key types such as the F-16, F-A-18, A-10, and AV-8B. And then, there are further prospects for massive export orders. The JSF revolutionizes aircraft development. It's not that much faster or more maneuverable than the current F-16, but what it does bring is affordable stealth capability. As such, it is designed to a certain price, and capabilities are traded off against each other to meet that price. 3 basic JSF variants are being developed. All will have 70 to 90% common parts, including canopy and most of the avionics. The F-35A is the conventional takeoff and landing version. The United States Air Force needs as many as 1,800 of them as air-to-ground strike aircraft to replace F-16s and A-10s. It will complement F-22 in the so-called high-low mix. The F-35B is being developed for the U.S. Marine Corps, the Royal Air Force, and the Royal Navy. It will become the world's first operational supersonic aircraft with STOVL, that is, short takeoff and vertical landing. The STOVL system uses an advanced shaft-driven lift fan propulsion system. Developed by Rolls-Royce Defense, a lift fan behind the cockpit provides around half the thrust required for hovering flight. The lift fan takes up valuable space. On other versions, this space is reserved for fuel. Nevertheless, the Marine Corps feels the trade-off in range is worthwhile, as this fighter will be used in a close air support role. The service will potentially need as many as 500 of them to replace its Hornets and Harriers in the CAS and strike roles. The F-35C is the carrier-based JSF version for the U.S. Navy. A larger new wing incorporates leading-edge flaps and foldable wingtip sections. Coupled with larger tail control surfaces, this gives improved piloting during carrier landings. The U.S. Navy potentially requires about 500 of these to replace first-generation FA-18 Hornets and complement the Super Hornet. It will be the service's only stealthy strike platform, and it's designed to be most effective for first-day stealth. JSF, the F-22 Raptor, and the new European superfighters represent the pinnacle of combat aircraft development. Excluding research and development and weapons, a single F-22 currently costs around $120 million. Swing-roll superfighters will have an increasingly tough time operating in a dense electronic warfare environment in the ever-growing threat posed by battlefield air defense systems. Even as this generation of superfighters is entering air forces, designers are looking at the next genesis of combat aircraft. One type, built and tested in the mid-90s, seems to come from the realm of science fiction, the bird of prey. The U.S. Air Force and Boeing unveiled this previously ultra-secret prototype in October 2002. Named after the Romulan bird of prey from the Star Trek series, this fighter and tactical bomber was designed to be stealthy enough to survive in broad daylight. The bird of prey has been retired, but its innovative features are influencing the future design of all stealth aircraft. A prime example is Boeing's X-45 Unmanned Combat Air Vehicle, or UCAV, prototype. The UCAV will demonstrate the technical feasibility for an unmanned combat aircraft to conduct a range of missions, including defense suppression and strikes. The UCAV represents one possible vision. However, the current superfighters are very much here to stay for the foreseeable future. The next 5 to 10 years will be very interesting, as each of these superfighters is presented with its own window of opportunity for sales. Competition for orders will continue to be fierce. The capabilities of these superfighters are stunning. Any Air Force purchasing them will gain a quantum leap in fighting power.